Greetings and salutations. Thank you for lending an ear to the voice of the times. This Tuesday, December 21, 2021. For today's editorial, Odette is a wake-up call not to be ignored. Typhoon Odette, with international name Rai, and the devastation it wreaked, brings into sharp focus two realities that demand our utmost attention. The first is that climate change has made severe storms the new normal. And second, we need to recalibrate our preparedness and resilience strategies to cope with the future wave of extreme weather events. Odette is the strongest typhoon to lash the Philippines so far this year. Powered by winds upwards of 250 kilometers an hour, it barreled its way across central Philippines, killing close to 100 people and forcing several thousands to seek shelter in evacuation sites. The full extent of destruction cannot be determined until power and communication have been restored in many stricken areas, but damage to agriculture is expected to be considerable because floodwaters have swamped thousands of hectares of farmlands. In 2009, Typhoon Ondoy, with international name Ketsana, opened our eyes to the cataclysmic force that heavy incessant rains and floods can unleash on a megalopolis like Metro Manila. Just 4 years later, Yolanda, with international name Haiyan, made super typhoon and storm surge bywords when discussing the nightmare of weather gone wild. Climate experts have been pointing to global warming as the culprit behind extreme weather episodes, but few government leaders have sounded a call to action. Many wanted hard proof that rising ocean temperatures and more intense cyclones, hurricanes, and typhoons are correlated. The science is not difficult to comprehend. Carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases, the toxic products of human activity, accumulate in the atmosphere, forming a shroud that traps heat. The excess heat is soaked up by the oceans, and usually seawater is able to dissipate it. In the past century, however, the thermal buildup has reached a level where the seas are losing their self-cooling capability. Warm waters are both the breeding ground and fueling station of storms. The warmer the water, the more intense the storm. Climate summits like COP26 in October have succeeded in raising awareness about the threats from a warming planet. Awareness is just the first step. It should be followed by a concerted effort to address the problem. But as COP26 has shown, setting targets is easy. Getting everyone to commit to those targets is not. Galvanized by the Ondoy ordeal, the Philippines came up with a National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Plan, or NDRRMP, in 2010, as the principal guide to disaster risk reduction and management, or DRRM, efforts in the country. The plan, which is in force until 2028, presents a paradigm shift from reactive to proactive DRRM, wherein men and women have increased their awareness and understanding of DRRM, with the end in view of increasing people's resilience and decreasing their vulnerabilities. It has a four-point approach in addressing disasters: preparedness, response, prevention and mitigation, and rehabilitation and recovery. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council is the plan's implementer, bringing together a broad range of government agencies when calamities strike. Yolanda first exposed the NDRRMC's strong and weak points, pre-positioning relief goods and heavy equipment ahead of the typhoon and resorting to preemptive evacuation proved to be effective. Yet, the Council failed miserably in the Rehabilitation and Recovery Department. Years after the typhoon, thousands of people who lost their homes were still waiting to be transferred to housing sites. Odette casts doubt on the NDRRMC's capability to adequately respond to supersized typhoons. That is troubling, considering that more catastrophic storms will be coming our way. According to renowned meteorologist Kerry Emanuel, storms have grown almost twice as destructive during the past 3 decades. The NDRRMP offers pointers to scale up disaster risk and management efforts. Post-disaster reconstruction, for one, should be guided by the Building Back Better concept, which proposes that better and safer structures be built on safe locations. Gaps between government, disaster management practitioners, and stakeholders in applying resiliency principles must be plugged. Competency-based disaster management programs should be developed and continually conducted in order to be effective and responsive to the needs of communities and institutions, the plan recommends. We have a plan. We just need to fine-tune it. And that's the editorial for Tuesday, December 21, 2021. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to our digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and listen to The Voice of the Times.